Hello and welcome back to Fields of Hyrule Park in Planet Coaster 2, where I, Biko, am building a Zelda-inspired theme park in the game Planet Coaster 2. Last episode we built this beauty right here, the Temple of Time drop tower. I synced up those automatic windows to open at the top of the ride, so that's cool. We also did some theming of the queue, as you can see here. Also worked on this sign, which we didn't show in any footage of that, but did build that. And yeah, we did some additional theming around the castle town area just to kind of dress it up a bit and fill in some empty spaces and orient the buildings in a way that makes sense. In this episode, episode 3, we are building the train station, which I don't know, I don't even know if there's a train in any Zelda game, but I don't care because I'm planning on making this park huge, so I don't want my little guests to get tired walking around the park. They need some sort of transportation. And what I'm most excited about is a windmill type ride, flat ride, based on, inspired by Song of Storms from Ocarina of Time. Also, this video is coming out after the February update, which is amazing. Some really cool quality of life fixes in the game, but for this episode specifically, I was able to use the custom audio for that windmill and get the Song of Storms in here, which I feel like is apropos and belongs in there. So that's cool. I'm pumped about it. Anyways, let's get into building. Let's watch some very fast building processes. Alright, so like I said, yeah, I'm building a train station here. Again, not sure as trains exist in the world of Zelda and the world of Hyrule, but for the purposes of this park, we are building a train station. Because again, I'm planning on making this park pretty huge, and I think it would be appropriate to have a train station to bring all these little guests around to all the attractions, all the different regions of Hyrule. With that in mind, with the fact that there are no really trains existing in the world of Hyrule in the video game series, I was trying to figure out how can we at least make this so it seems like it belongs here. I think you'll find that it fits the vibe of you know, like the foresty kind of feel, as well as keeping with the castle town flow. At least I think it does. So that's all that matters, right? But yeah, I think I did a decent job of trying to make it fit in this universe that I'm building here. I just came to the realization though that, and maybe I should have checked on this, and maybe I should check on this after I record this. If they have boat transportation, that would be cool, because then we can incorporate Wind Waker into this and build like the Red Lion boat thing, right? If not, I mean, I guess maybe we can either make that into like a water coaster or some sort of water ride. Either way, now I have ideas in my head, and I can't wait to stop recording this so I can try it out. Back to the train station though, I didn't really have anything specific in mind. I kind of had, like, I wanted a lot of wood pieces, obviously, as you know, it's going to be butting up right against the Lost Woods, so it's going to be part of like that forest sort of region, and that's about as far as I went in my head in terms of planning. I just kind of grabbed some pieces and started building, and it kind of came out the way it did. Again, I'm super happy with how it came out. I think it looks cool. The one thing I did struggle with was the pathing. The pathing is, I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship with the pathing system in this game. I think it's amazing, but it's also annoying as hell. I can't seem to get a good grasp on it. I'm starting to get better now. And I say it's annoying as hell, but that's probably totally on me, and it's probably user error more than anything. But that being said, that is something I struggled with this. I cut out a lot of that in this episode. Yeah, that's something I'm working on more, trying to get more intricate pathways, and like eventually as I build out more of the park, I want to incorporate like pathing systems to kind of interact with rides and stuff. But at this point, in this point of the park, I haven't been able to kind of incorporate that yet. But I'm going to try. That's my plan, at least. Yeah, I said I cut out the footage, but I promise I did. There's a lot more messing around and screwing up than you're seeing here, but I feel like I at least have to get how I built the queue to up to the train station. And then these towers here, I, again, didn't have anything planned in my head. I just sort of grabbed some pieces and started building and seeing what would come of it. But this in particular, I think this is my favorite part of the structure are these towers that I kind of use at every corner of the end result of the train station. Yeah, I kind of like the hourglass type shape that I came up with here. I feel like I'm just going to make it a point to meet a quota of at least one mention per episode of this technique of using one of the weapons. Like in the first 2 episodes I was talking about the sword, then in this build I decided to try out the axe to see how that would work. Ended up working very well. Obviously the handle of the axe is wooden, so again trying to keep that wooden feel to this whole building, so that worked there. And then there was like an accidental genius moment that I had that we'll see coming up here, where I was trying to like make it smaller. I don't even know what I was trying to do originally, but the way I ended up scaling it made it like into this like flipped around. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. You'll just see it. I'll point it out when it happens. But you know, again, no plan in my head, just kind of building and see what comes of the building process. And that's something that came out. When I was building this was before the update, but as I'm recording this now, the voiceover kind of looks like a little foresty hat. Anyway, as I'm recording this, the update has come out. Quality of life, huge updates there. This is what I'm talking about. I like started to scale it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna throw that on top. But anyways, yeah, the update. Love how I get the custom audio in there. I recently just built a sculptula for my Lost Woods region, which at the end of this episode, you'll kind of see the exit of this region into the Lost Woods, which I'm working on currently in real time. But yeah, I built a sculptula and I was able to get the creepy crawly sounds that they make in Ocarina of Time when you're close by. So I was able to incorporate that into the build and into that animated statue ride piece thing. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about incorporating that into the next area of the park. I love how they went all out in terms of the bug fixes. Like if you look at the document that they released along with the update, like it's like you just keep scrolling and there's so many fixes that they made, which a lot of people are going to say that should have been the case before it launched. But as long as they're fixing it as they go and they're not just kind of leaving us hanging, like I'm happy with that. Again, I'm brand new to this series in terms of playing, so a lot of this I have more forgiving mindset because this is all new to me and I didn't really have expectations of a veteran Planet Coaster player. I just kind of had like a newbie expectation mindset coming in, and coming from Animal Crossing world where everything is kind of like set in stone and it's very, you know, there's limitations in the way that you can play and build in that game, and coming into this game it just blew my mind. So I was like giddy playing this game regardless, but then yeah, this update that came out, like it just makes it that much better, the quality of life stuff, and the fact that like the custom sounds are now in the game and custom billboards, which I'm excited to figure out how I can use that in this. I'm just excited for the next updates to come. I can't imagine like how much better this game is going to be over time, so I'm looking forward to that. And as I'm trying to like insert myself more into this community and like learning what people are saying about the game and what people have said in the past and what they expect and the expectations of people who know the game a lot better than I do, it seems like there's a lot of theming content packs missing from the game, but as has been discussed in this community too, the amount of different techniques that you can use with the pieces that exist in the game, like you can kind of make your own theme, which is cool. So if they're missing a theme in the game right now, I think it just, like, with a little bit of work and a little bit of like creativity, I feel like you can kind of make your own theme. Like they don't have a Zelda theme in this game, obviously, but I'm trying to make it my own. We'll see how it ends up, but so far I'm pretty happy with the ability to kind of like manipulate different themes to fit the vibe that I'm going for with these different builds. All that to say is, like, I'm super happy with this game. I'm pumped that I decided to bite the bullet and jump in and try my hand at it. If the first update is any indication of how they're going to support this game, like, I am just so excited for the next updates to come. If I'm being honest, like, Animal Crossing was my jam back in like quarantine days in 2020 during the pandemic. Love the game, amazing game, but I feel like Nintendo kind of slacked in the way they continued the support of the game after, you know, what was it, like a year and a half or so? I feel like they just stopped releasing new content and new packs and whatnot, but I don't foresee that happening with this game. From what I understand, Planet Coaster 1 had a lot of updates and kind of DLC packs and whatnot, so I'm excited that there's going to be some replayability with this game. Obviously, I mean, even without updates, this game has insane replayability. With the new things to come, new updates, new content, I'm just so pumped about this game. I can't state that enough. I can't emphasize that enough. Enough of my praise. Here's the Song of Storms Windmill that I started. Definitely had something in mind. Like, I knew I wanted it to be a windmill. I knew the backstory of the windmill in Ocarina of Time and how, like, the guy gets pissed at the kid who plays that song and makes it rain. So I have some elements in the ride where it's kind of like leaking out water from the sides, from the foundations of this, which you'll see later, probably more in the walkthrough. I don't know if I include it in this time lapse, but so I at least had a frame of reference of how I wanted this to go, so it was a little bit less daunting going in. Yeah, this was another fun build that I'm really happy with the way it came out. And here, trying something a little bit different. I was taking the rocks and using this, you know, the rotation technique to kind of create that circle, but I was hoping that at the end result it wouldn't be super repetitive. Ended up being repetitive anyway. So what I did was just, okay, I'll make the foundation out of rock, but then I'll throw some boulders on the edges of it. So it'll differentiate each part of this foundation, you know what I mean? I don't know if that made any sense, but here you go, like just throwing some rocks in there to kind of change it up, not be the same thing repeated over and over again, and make it look more natural. And then my goal for the windmill is to kind of make it, you know, sort of run down, and not like make it seem like, you know, this is an old windmill that hasn't had like the most love and attention in terms of upkeep. So some of these stones kind of creates that effect. But then I was happy with this idea of using those shipwreck plank things and using that as the walls of the windmill. I actually end up using this in a different building in the next episode, where I build out the entrance to the theme park. Anyways, so using that piece, again, going back to the thing where, like, yeah, there are not a lot of theme packs in the game at launch, but like these pieces you can kind of make it your own and create your own themes, you know. The end result of this part of it wasn't so much what I intended it to be, but it worked. So I just kept it as like the foundation of the ride. Again, it's not neat, it's not like clean, but that's the vibe I'm going for with this anyway. Just kind of like wood just haplessly thrown together as the foundation. The other part of this that I struggled with was the fencing. Like you can see from this shot, like I have the square fencing. Before I was trying to have like circle fencing around it, but then it just didn't feel right, so I changed it to this. I watch a lot of Planet Coaster channels and people building theme park worldwide. That channel is what got me into this game from years ago. Again, as like a lurker, I just love watching him build and his theming and his like knowledge of theme parks. Because if I'm being honest, I have no knowledge of theme parks. I like theme parks. I'm not a ride person in real life, which is like probably blasphemous for some of you in terms of, you know, why are you building a theme park if you don't even like enjoy rides? And I shouldn't say I don't enjoy rides. I do enjoy rides. I just am a more limited rider, if you will. But like theme parks in general, like I think I love theme parks. Like Disney is amazing. My wife and I honeymooned there for the first half of our honeymoon after we got married in Disney World. Went there a lot as a kid. I think just like the feeling you get in that place is what I enjoy from theme parks. While I'm not like a ride person per se, I do enjoy like the experience of going, and that's what I like most about this game is the theming aspect and how much you can kind of like put into the theming and the building, and just like the feel of your park when you're building these things. So you'll see in like later episodes where I start to build roller coasters, I'm anticipating those not being super realistic maybe. I'm trying to make it realistic, but again, I'm not a super big ride person. I hate to say it, I'm just not. I understand that people are, and I understand why they are. I don't know. I'm afraid of heights. I get motion sickness, so they're not really for me. But I can appreciate the build of a roller coaster. And again, long way of saying like I'm trying to learn how to build roller coasters, but I anticipate that being a struggle for me. So if anybody watching this decides that they want to teach me about the engineering of roller coasters in a limited way, kind of like roller coaster 101, please let me know. I'm open to it. Again, I'm trying my best. But back to this one, I'm not building a roller coaster here. I'm building a flat ride, and I'm theming a windmill based on the Song of Storms. Which I'm almost done here. I'm almost done with this time lapse. I have been talking for 20 minutes. This is harder than it seems when I watch other people, so I give them a lot of credit. Hopefully you're finding this interesting. So there we go. I finished the ride itself. Now I'm building out the queue, save it as a blueprint and drag it over where I wanted it to be. Building the queue, not the most beautiful thing, but I theme it up. I think it looks really cool in the end. So yeah, a lot of fun building this. Again, I'm having a ton of fun with this game in building out this world that I'm taking on. I feel like every time I boot up the game and start building, I have another idea that I want to try out. I mentioned the Red Lion boat from Wind Waker. Like, I think that has a lot of potential in what I can build, and there's a lot of different options that I can use that idea for. So things like that is what gets me excited about this game. I feel like there's just like no ending to inspiration, at least at this point in my playing the game. There's just no ending in sight in terms of inspiration. So I'm excited to keep going with this. I hope people find, at least a couple people find this interesting. If not, it's cool. I'm having fun. So, and also my wife likes it, so that's all that matters to me. As long as I have one viewer. I decided to throw down a building here. You know, you got the windmill guy, what's his actual name in game? I don't even remember. It's like Phonogram Man or something like that. But yeah, the guy who gets pissed at Link in the windmill, who's playing the Song of Storms on his instrument there. I feel like he needed a house. I feel like he didn't want to live in just the windmill, and he needs a home of his own. So I built him this little structure here, which again, I think it kind of fits the vibe of the whole area of the park, with like the wooden theme and kind of like not super fancy, just sort of, you know, throw up some walls and a roof and call it a house. I feel like this, again, I didn't have anything in mind. I just threw up some walls and it came together pretty quickly and easily, and that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm getting better at this game. I'm starting to realize what I can do and how things can fit together, and the workflow is just more seamless. It's a lot more efficient to build than it was at the beginning. It took me forever to do the simplest tasks in this game when I first started playing, but now I'm like, let's go. So yeah, I built him this little house here because, you know, his windmill is I haven't done it yet in this build. I think, again, I'll just show it in the end result, but I have the leakiness coming out of the foundations of his house. He doesn't want to stay in there. He wants his own dry home where he can kick his feet up, have a drink, and relax. I built these little custom steps here. Not the cleanest build, but it gets the job done. Again, fits the vibe of like, this isn't super done up. It's not a fancy build. It's just a guy who runs a windmill, needed a structure to live in, and he threw this one up here. So that's kind of what I was going for. And this was what I was probably most excited about for this build was, you know, if anyone has played Ocarina of Time, they know the Song of Storms. They know the inputs of some of the songs in that game, if not all of them. And I feel like for me, Song of Storms, and for a lot of people I imagine, Song of Storms was like a main primary song of their childhood in video games. In this button input, like, I feel like I had to incorporate it into this ride in some way. So what I was trying to do is make this like a lost relic type situation, and throwing it in the queue line and having it as sort of like an Easter egg type deal. And then again, now with the update, with the custom sounds and custom music that you can throw onto speakers in the game, like I have that going through the queue too, which yeah, it just completely, everything's coming together, and it's just freaking cool. I'm excited. right, here we are. Trying something different here. Trying to, usually I record everything and then I talk over it as I'm watching, but I'm in game right now. I'm controlling my dude. Again, new PC player, so I'm getting used to mouse and keyboard. Anyways, this is the end result of my build. There's a train station there. Tried to keep the sightlines, in check. So it's cool that, I feel like it's cool that it worked out, that you still have a really nice view of the castle there as you're leaving the area. Again, look at this train station. I think it fits. Yes, there's no trains in the world of Zelda in the game series, but there is in this one, and I think it flows nicely. Again, there's the castle. It's beautiful. So yeah, didn't do anything on the inside of this yet. Probably will do that off screen for my own sake. And I guess maybe I'll show it if it ends up being nice. But yeah, again, really happy with how this came out. I like it. This is my favorite ride entrance that I've built so far. I think it might be my third one, because I built the Dompe Coaster ride entrance as well. I just haven't obviously shown that yet. I've been working on that in the background of these episodes. But yeah, I think this is my favorite entrance that I've built so far. I really liked how it came out. But yeah, that's the episode, guys. Again, sightlines, I think I did pretty well with the sightlines. You get the castle view along the queue. You get the, oh my god, what happened? Yikes. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. This is, again, new PC player here. It's an embarrassing moment for me. But anyways, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, so next time I'll make sure to just record the footage and you guys won't see me fumble around with my mouse and keyboard. But this is the build. This is the final product. Super happy with how it came out. I think it fits the region well. I'm ready to go with the next area, which you can see a sneak peek of floating rocks there. Those rocks will not be floating when you see it next. And actually, next episode, we will not be going there just yet. We will be looking at what's over there. Here, the entrance to the park. Anyways, guys, I'm Biko. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in episode 4. Bye-bye.